there was this video I saw on YouTube, like way like no, it wasn't elementary. It was I think it was middle school where I saw a video about how penguins actually are. I want to find the video so I can show you, but I don't know if it still exists on YouTube or not. Anyways, it was like a animation, like a kids animation, but it was adult themed. I don't know. I think Seth Rogen was actually in one of these episodes. Oh no. But it was like a show where I don't know, it was an animated thing. It was a teacher talking to their kids like about animals and how they actually interact with and how they are in like real life. And one of the things was that penguins would rape. This is really dicey, but they're really like like either they're young women eat their own poop. I'm pretty sure one time, and I think I told a girl about this video out of nowhere. By the way, no, not out of nowhere, but I was friends with her in like one class and like one class specifically, and well, obviously, no one wants to hear about that, so they like told a whole bunch of people, or they said it out loud. They never told a whole bunch of people. They just kept on screaming it out loud, and I got like really concerned. And I was like, dude, and I think she told me something about her brother. I'm not exactly sure, and I said that whatever she said about her brother out loud, I don't know what it was, but I remember the penguin, and it was. I think either we got in trouble for talking out loud, but I don't think anyone like heard what we said, which was like the good part about this.
Rape, pedophilia, and necrophilia.
God damn it, seriously?
Yes. In 1912, explorer George Murray Levick observed a group of thirsty-ass male penguins so horned up and they fucked everything that moved and a lot of stuff that didn't, including injured females. Baby penguins that had fallen out of nests. Corpses. Even the ground itself.
So that's just one embarrassing thing, and that happened in middle school. And the rest, I think, is like in high school, bro. I don't think after that, I don't think anything else happened in high school or in middle school. Okay, I'm gonna begin with freshman year. I don't think anything that weird happened freshman year. I think one part would be where I was like in a theater class because it was like mandatory to take like a non whatever, like an extracurricular class. Anyways, I got hit by a doomfist. And there's this thing where I went onto someone's back, or one of my friend's back. Like we had to hold each other on our backs, and bro, I was fat. I'm still fat. I'm fat. And I'm pretty sure I weighed like 20 less pounds back then as I do now, which isn't a lot. I'll be honest with you. But imagine like. Okay, imagine a big ass kid going on your back while you're also a little like you're. I was small. We're like the same height as well, so it did not help at all. And I'm pretty sure he was also I wouldn't say he's fat. I said he was like more healthy than I was. So, you know, after that, I like went on his back, bro. He absolutely just tumbled down. And it was like, dude, yeah, I could not carry you. And he's like, my back hurts, man. Bro, it was absolutely hilarious. Okay, this me falling on his back reminded me of something else that happened with like a church friend. I went to their house, and I went to their house for a sleepover one time, and this is like the only time, by the way. And I was on the top bunk while they were at the bottom bunk for one of the kids, and I went on top of their soldier, thinking it was cool, or thinking I would like just land on them, be funny, and I absolutely hurt their shoulders, bro. I think I might have dislocated it. No, I wouldn't say that, but dude, they had to leave that day, and it wasn't even like the last day either, so it wasn't like something I could like be, I'm like, oh, okay, last day, I don't have to worry about that anymore. No, dude, it was like this, like the first day. So I didn't get in trouble because I was a kid. Okay, I'm fucking dead. Like, I'm absolutely... like... I like destroying people's backs, bro. And I don't know if they went to the hospital or not. They never told me. But, dude, that kid had to go home that day because I absolutely broke their back. Okay, I threw a rock at one of my cousins before, and I think I got in trouble for that. The thing is, I wasn't an evil kid. It's just the things I did was evil. Like, no ill intent was behind any of those actions that I did. Okay, I think that's it when it came to like me and my, I don't want to say younger years because I don't think anything. Oh, middle school. Football. I was 7th grade football. An embarrassing thing that happened was I was a short ass kid and I was fat as well. So like I gained a couple muscles. I was able to bench like 75. I'm pretty sure was like the max, and then squat like 100 something. But that was about it. I could not do any more. Or I could have. I don't know. It was near the end. That was like my max. I'm pretty sure. I want to say my PR. But after that, okay, no. It was like that was before. This is what I'm gonna talk about is before. It was me and one other kid. We were like the same size, same height, and dude. Oh, actually, even before that, there's even a more embarrassing story that happened. I thought my name was called because they did it by last name as per usual when they like call your name. So whenever they did the like the 18B team, they said Medina, which there was another Medina, but I thought I was the one. Dude, I went up there. I was like, wait, I did jack shit. I'm a small ass fucking kid, and I can't do anything. Like, I absolutely suck. So, that happening, I got really confused. They didn't question me at all. They're like, what is this little ass kid doing? No, they never said anything. So they were fine with it. They just gave me a shirt and like, go on the rest of your day, I guess. And dude, I was like in the field dude, I was in the field, and they were like, "All right, Jeremy, go in," or Medina, go in there. I went in there. I was I was lineman since I was fat, and bro, I didn't know what was going on. I played football. I never played football like in my life. I joined it because I'm pretty sure my parents wanted me to lose weight. I gained it all back because of COVID, anyways. Uh, um, but so my name was called. I didn't know what was going on. I never played like any, or I never like they do drills and they teach you how to do that stuff. I didn't retain any of that information at all. Like that didn't like that crossed my mind. They're like, "All right, just do the thing," and I was like, "What?" I went up there. I was like, "What am I supposed to do?" And they're like, "Jeremy, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you have a or why do you have an A team shirt?" And they're like, "Go back and go into B team." So I had to go back to the locker. There was a coach there, and this was before I like knew how to switch. No, I don't think that was needed. Um, so I was like, I had to go back, put on the blue, the white. It was like red for A team, blue, white for B team. I had to put on the white shirt, and and I was like, dude, I feel like a dumbass right now. What the hell was any of that? And then I went back. I just like sat on the sidelines, or not sat, but I stood on the sidelines right next to like some other kids, and like I just didn't talk the rest of the day. I just didn't want to do anything. Bro, it was such a bad like thing that happened. Like the embarrassment from it was crazy. Another thing from football is I never played any of the games. Like I was there, and I wasn't a water boy either. I just didn't like participate in them. Like I would just like try to move away from the coaches. I would not want to play because I didn't know how to play and I was scared to play because there was this one time where I got knocked off of my ass by a bigger kid. They're like twice my size and like the same team, not same team, but like they were A team. Dude, they hit me. I flew. I got hit in my I sat on my ass because of them. I was like, dude, this ain't, I can't compare to these people because I was like 5'2" probably at that time, while most kids were like way above that. So height difference, size difference. I didn't know how to play the game, so I was like out of luck. I was out of luck, so guess what happened to me? Like, I just suck. I never played. I was too scared to play either way. I ate food. I like their, they gave me food. And that was about it. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, someone called me out at like the end of no. Okay, I know. I'll talk about that. I'm gonna do in timeline. There was this one time where me and this kid were like same size, like I said, same size, same weight, same everything. And when this was indoors because it was raining, so I didn't have any traction either. And dude, they were like, "All right, tackle each other." We tackled each other. None of it. We couldn't push each other at all. Like, we were at a standstill. So the guy or the coach was like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm paraphrasing, but practically what he said. So so we were just put like, dude, it was so embarrassing. And then you know how I said I couldn't like I didn't participate because I didn't feel like it and I didn't want to and I was just scared, like all the above excuses. Someone called me out in class, by the way. This was Like I had friends in that class too, so I became really silent, and I was like, okay, and I was like, okay, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? What is this? Like, how much of a fucking asshole do you have to be just call me out? Like, there's probably a reason why I don't want to, and you're just gonna call me out like that. So what ended up happening was that on that game day, it was the same day. It was like a Friday. Called me out in class. It was a home game. I'm pretty sure. You know what? Guess what I did? Nothing. I didn't join any. Like, I didn't join anything. I was like, dude, just because you told me doesn't mean I'm gonna, get in there and actually do something. If I didn't play, how would I know how to play? So, I was shit out of luck. Not much I could do. And so there was this like a kid told me one time, or no, at the same day, like a night when it was like, I think it was last quarter, second quarter, I don't fucking remember, but someone told me they were like, dude, get in there, and I just did not. I didn't follow their advice at all. I was like, no, why would I? There's no point. Oh, killer. Okay. I was playing Overwatch. Maybe I should stop playing because I'm like losing track of just everything. But it's fun to talk about it while playing a video game. Okay, either way, I just didn't play. I didn't do anything at that game. I was like, I was shit out of luck. I'm like, even if you tell me or tell a coach, I don't fucking care. It's last game. I'm still not gonna play. Okay. After that, they didn't tell me anything. I was like, all right. There was one time where I didn't know how get the football worked at all. So I was like, okay, if they tell me anything, I'm just gonna tell them that I got like 15 touchdown, or no, I got like 2 touchdowns by myself. And like now I think about it, like bro, I'm a lineman. How the fuck would that work? So good thing they never asked me how much touchdowns I had. Mainly because why would they ask me? I was lineman. So, you know, that was also a thing that happened. Easy game, easy game, easy game. It's in the mail. Anyways. What else was there? There was one time where... What the hell? There was one time... Ooh, okay. I'm getting, like, way out of track. Oh, this isn't really embarrassing, but this is weird. What happened? First grade or being sixth grade. This was math class. This was before football. Football was seventh grade. This was sixth grade. Sixth grade. I had like a panic attack in math class just out of nowhere. Like just out of nowhere, just a panic attack. I started like crying and stuff. And I was like, went to the teacher and I was like, I don't know. I had a phone at the time. I think my thing was if I thought about was if I like called on my phone to call my mom, that I would get in trouble or something. So I was like, okay, let me just call or let me call her on the phone while asking my teacher. So I did that. I called my mom and um, I was crying and I was like, can you come pick me up? I don't know. I felt, I don't know what I said. I think the teacher noticed this too, by the way, because she was a strict teacher. She was like, all right, yeah, you can call her, I guess. And I just ended up going home that same day. I was like, all right, that's fine. Oh, and then in football, uh, most of the time after a game went really bad, in the like obviously people were slacking off and did stuff. They threaten us with like Monday practice. We're just gonna like do harsh workouts. I was like, bro, I don't want to go do that shit. So I was like, Mom, I threw up on Monday because of football. Don't know how that worked because games were on a Friday. No, games were on a Thursday. Was they on Thursday or Friday? They were on Thursday, I think. And so Friday, I would text my mom and be like, I don't know, I don't think I can play, and just or I don't think I can go to school. I threw up, fakest throw up ever. I took a picture of like graham crackers in the toilet, and I was like, I don't think I can go to school. And she was like, okay, stay home. And then after that, I just wouldn't show her a picture. I would just be like, I threw up or I feel sick and I don't want to go. It was awesome. And she would be like, okay, just don't. It got to a point where she was like, are you sure? Are you really sick? Or could you just go to school? And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go to school. Oh, and then we had break in the seventh grade, like spring break, I think. No, it was winter break. Winter break it was in February, around that time. No, in March, I think. No, February going to March, around that time. This was during or when COVID was about to happen. So we did break. Oh no no no, we had a break, and then we went back to school since they told us before the break for football. They were like, this was off season, so all we did was just work out. We were like, they were like, okay, if you want to maintain your muscle and you want to like do everything, you don't want to like um lose muscle retention, you should work out during this week off. And I didn't. I slacked off. And so on that Monday, we were doing workouts. I could not lift the same heavy weights that I did. I could not. Okay. And I was like, fuck, this sucks. Good thing after that day, I think. After a week or so of doing this, we we went back to the home, or we did home stuff, homeschooling or whatever. It was online school because of COVID. So thank God that happened because I would have like lost everything, like muscle retention, weight training, all that shit. I would go back to like lose 20 pounds on the weights in order to actually do the workout. Speaking of workouts, or speaking of weights, there was one time um where it was the bar. Someone was doing the bar, and I was like, what's it called? I was the spotter. I couldn't wait. I couldn't lift the same heavy stuff they could, so I was struggling, and someone else had to go help. And I was like, okay, this is. I always begged. I was like, please don't mess up. Please don't mess up when I was a spotter. Because, dude, if they messed up and I had to help them, I wouldn't be able to because I can't carry weights worth a shit when it came to upper arms or came to arms. Only legs because, fat moves legs really easily, and it's really easy to move your legs. So that sucked. Um, I think honestly, I'm pretty sure I was the lowest person possible in that like football team. Like the A tier, there's A team and B team, bro. I was in C team, even though that didn't exist. I'm pretty sure the coaches noticed I wasn't playing, and they were like, you know what, it's fine. I couldn't give less of a shit since he's like so bad. At least that's what I think, and I'm pretty sure that would be truthful. What else? I don't think. Oh, there's since it was like the first day of off season where they're like, okay, we're gonna do harsh workout or not harsh, but it was like we're gonna work out and stuff like that. Um, on the first day we were doing outside workouts. We were doing like squat or we are doing push-ups, dude. I was crying. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. I was crying, and some dude right next to me told me to shut up, and I was like, bro, okay. Who the fuck do they think they are? Dude, I feel like I'm telling you, I feel like I was the weakest link in that like thing overall. Even though I was like friends with like most of the Mexicans that were there as well. Oh, there's what I could hide in the locker. That's how small I was. I was able to hide in a locker in that like they were able to close it too in that fucking gym, or not gym, but in the locker room. That was the craziest part. That's how small I was. I could hide in a locker. Dude, why did they accept, or why did they have like a small ass kid or fat too? So just be in the team. Dude, I wish I was a kicker so much because they had nothing to do. They had like they were there for just the kick and that's it. They didn't have to play at all. And I was like, bro, I wish I was a kicker. I wish I could kick well. Let's see. There was one time where I was leaving for I think I got called home early or something for whatever reason, and this was like I didn't know how to open a locker for the longest time until like I think maybe like February of that year, and I had someone else to help me. Thankfully, they were there because I wouldn't have been able to grab my shit, and I had to go ask the coach, and then the coach makes you do push-ups in order to open the locker, and I was like, bro, that sucks. Good thing someone was there. They opened the locker for me, and then I forgot something back in the locker, and then I went to the locker, and I opened it by myself, thankfully, and I was able to do it, and I was like, bro, thank God. I, like, figured out how to do it. And then after that, I was able to open lockers, or, like, because it wasn't key lock, it was combination, it was numbers, and it was, like, a really weird thing. It was, like, right, then left, then right again, and then boom, you're done. Or no, you had to spin it all the way to 0, then you have to go to the number, then you have to go left, then you have to go right, and then boom, it's unlocked. And it was like all that mumbo jumbo, and I was like, dude, I don't know how to do that shit. And then I figured it out, thank God. I got really fat during COVID because all I did was sit all day and eat. uh I play I was like I was in class, in the Zoom class, and I played For Honor most of the time. My grandma snitched on me in front of her, and like my mom told me. I was like, so? I was like, so? No, what is this gonna do? It's 8th grade. Or no, it's like 7th grade, going to summer. So no one, I didn't give a crap. I'm pretty sure barely any work got done. It was easy. In 8th grade, I don't think anything too bad happened. I can't really think of anything bad happening in 8th grade all that much. Honestly, 8th grade was pretty chill for me. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't do football again. I had to do gym class, and thankfully I did. Still hated that though. Uh, Let's see. I kind of wish I did soccer in high school. I wish I lost weight and did soccer because I love playing soccer with people. Like that was the best part about like high school or about PE was just soccer. Um, but I'm talking about embarrassing stuff, so that we're not gonna talk about that. I think the only thing that happened was um no, I'm telling you, nothing too bad happened. No, I did pee myself one time in elementary though, like first, no, like second grade. I was like in a math class. It was like math and science class. We were sat down while she was reading a book. I asked to go to the restroom. She said no. Peed myself right then and there. Sat like I was like I think I was like sitting on my knees or something like shins. I peed myself and I was like, oh, okay. Um, you could see a puddle right there, and I stood up, or we were standing up, and I went go sit, and I'm pretty sure it was just I pissed myself, and I'm pretty sure I could smell like I smelled like pee probably that whole entire day. No one said anything, surprisingly. So I guess everything ended well. Mm. Oh, one time in elementary school, I think it was like fifth grade or something. It was like ELA or it was English. Uh, this is actually really, really degenerate of me for being a what 10th grader, or I mean a 10-year old, not a 10th grader. Holy shit! Imagine that. No, a 10-year old, dude. There's like there's a big there's a big girl, like fat girl, and I was like, they were standing up, or they're like slouching over. Their shirt was like there's a big gap from in their shirt, and I went to go, and I don't know, bro. Either like 10-year-old me was a degenerate, or like something sparked inside of my monkey brain was like, ooh, this is something you're gonna have to see because I was like I wasn't innocent. A lot of people who were like 10-year-olds were innocent, especially in my grade. I don't know. I feel like the internet made us know a lot of stuff we shouldn't have. And I went to go look and to go look at look at what's in there, either out of curiosity or horning it. Dude, I don't know. This was like this is I feel like it was instinctual. Anyways, some girl noticed and like told the other girl like sit down or something like that. So the girl sat down and I was like, oh, sat down. I sat down. I was like, wait, did someone notice or something like that? And that was it. Oh, that same fifth grade year. It was the math teacher. She said she was from Germany. I said something about uh, I said something about like Nazi Germany, and she was like, "Who said that? Who said that? That's not something you should laugh or you make fun of about." And something like that. That's happened a long time ago, and I never spoke up about it. I was like, oh, I don't know. That could have been anyone here. um, I think that's about it for middle school, elementary. Ninth grade, I told you about the kid with the in theater broke his back. I didn't break his back, but I probably hurt his back. I one time I saw myself in the mirror and I was like, okay. I looked at myself and I was like, dude, what the fuck am I wearing? Like I had a moment of like realization or something like that. I had like a shorts on, I had a shirt on, or not shirt, a jacket on, but the jacket was like too tight. I looked fat. The shorts made me look nerdy. Dude, it was not a good combination, especially with my hair and glasses. Dude, I actually look like a fucking nerd. Um, in ninth grade, after that part, since I still have I have a lighter voice than most men. I don't know if it's like well, a lot. It's probably testosterone or something like that. I don't really care. I don't really care. I've been what? I'm not going to puberty anymore. Pretty sure. I till 25, but I don't think my voice is gonna get deeper. Like when I'm 25. All right. It was like theater. It was same theater. We were doing like a. I don't. It wasn't a presentation. It wasn't a presentation. It was something else. Either way, I had um like since I had since it was ninth grade, my voice was high. Like I didn't sound like a girl, probably did, but dude, my voice was high, and I went to go speak about something. I messed up. I couldn't speak worth a shit because I was nervous. So I went to go sit back down. The kid who I think he had the same, yeah, he had the same last name as me, but we weren't related, no relation. It was, so he got called up. He had a very deep voice for a ninth grader, and he was like, he talked about something, and the teacher commented about his voice. He was like, "Oh, that's a nice voice you have, dude." I haven't felt I felt so like not bewildered, not like depressed, not down. It was like not envy either. I just felt like I was just like, bro, seriously, my high ass voice, and then his deep ass voice right after I messed up, and I felt so ashamed. And I was like, bro, I hate this so much. um, what? Okay, let's see. After that, ninth grade. After that part, I think only. Oh, I had to shit myself. This was like near the big like ending of the year, like 3 months before the I don't know, near spring. I had to shit myself really badly, and this was the time where there was a substitute. I hated the substitute, and I needed to go. And I asked her. I was like, "Can I go 5 minutes? Can I go to the rest? Like, can I go 5 minutes ahead of like the time because it was dude, if I didn't go like 5 minutes ahead, like I asked her, I probably would have shit myself because there was no restrooms where the theater hall was at, like near it. You had to go like a 5 minute or like a 3 minute walk. And she was like, "Oh, okay." Because, dude, it's embarrassing to shit yourself, especially if it's like during a period, like the 5 minute period break where you have to go from one class to the other. Because a lot of people go to the stalls to go piss. And so I asked her, I was like, "Can I go to the restroom?" She was like, "Yes." I went, bro. I just went and I took a shit, cleaned my, and I did all that stuff. And I was like, dude, that teacher, goated and best teacher ever, because of that one interaction that happened. A lot of this stuff happened in theater. Honestly, I don't think any other class is noteworthy in my ninth grade. Not that I can think of. I did hate someone. Nah, not really. Oh, and then 10th grade. 10th grade sucked. I had PE. Fucking, fat ass kid. Got even more fat. So PE sucked, especially since you had to do a mile every fucking week. That sucked a lot, dude. I had to fucking run a mile every single week for like the next 200 days. Um, not it wasn't. There's not much embarrassing stuff that happened, but there was like I wouldn't say a bully. Nah, he was a bully, I guess, but I didn't really felt bullied, mainly because he wasn't threatening at all. Besides like one time where we were outside in like the soccer field and or no in the field we were playing soccer and like all of a sudden he went from behind me and like started like choking me. That wasn't funny at all. I kind of wish I punched him. I still regret it. I don't still regret it. It's like one of those moments where you're like, dude, if that ever happens to me again, I swear I'll punch them in the throat or like grab their nuts, squish them, kick them in the nuts, Do whatever. Break their bones. That's something that you shouldn't do to another person. Go from behind and choke them, especially at, like, what, 10th grade? You're like 15, 16. You know more than that. You should know more than that. Anyways, I wanted to hit him. I laughed it off. I was like, bro. Okay. I was like, okay, it's whatever. That's not really an embarrassing moment. More like just a moment. 10th grade. Other than that, not much I can think about. Mainly because not a lot happened in 10th grade. I think, two people fought in front of me, like in my Spanish class. I hated that Spanish class anyways. I didn't care. The Spanish teacher fucking sucked. That guy, like, actually blew balls just on the daily. I hated him so much. There's two people that fought in front of me. They went to my desk, and I was like, okay, that's cool, I guess. Like, just fight like in front of me, and then they fought somewhere else. They went like across the classroom, and I was like, all right, that's cool. 10th grade, anything else? Nope. Okay, junior year. Junior year sucked. Most worst year ever. Not because of what people like AP tests or not AP tests. Yeah, I didn't take an AP test, even though I had a class AP. The other class, the ACT? Yeah, I didn't care about that. I still got a bad score mainly because I didn't study at all. Junior year, absolutely cringe. Lots of stuff happened. First, let's see. Let's see. What can we think about first? Became friends with a lot of lesbians out of nowhere. That was cool, I guess. Went to their house to do a project. That was cool, I guess. Nothing cringy happened there. There was one time where, oh, actually, yeah, it was like the second day because it was only a 2-day thing. It was set the second day or last day, I guess. I was the last one to get picked up mainly because I didn't have a car and no one came there early, so I had to wait. And I lived very far. Anyways, so I was just sitting there trying to go on my phone. No service there, by the way, no service at all. So I was just trying to go on my phone while she was watching a show. Didn't talk at all to her. Just sat on my phone and waited for them, or for my parents. And no small conversation, no nothing. I was nervous as hell. Just, I didn't talk to them at all. And then as soon as my parents came, I was like, oh, all right, my parents came. I'm going to go. See ya. Bye. They're like, okay, bye. And that's it. The end of the interaction. Didn't talk to them after that. Unless it was like unless it was in the classroom where I had them. I had a sweaty ass. So I thought, ass sweat stained anything I was wearing. So I was constantly worried about people looking at if I had a stain in my ass. Like a sweat stain. Let's see. Someone commented on my hair because I had long hair during this time. Dude, I wish people told me to get a haircut. I looked ugly with that long ass hair. I hate it. I hate it. I hate looking back on it. Look back at it. Crazy. Pause. Cut my hair now. Still long, or longer than the average hair, but not long where it's like to my shoulder blades. That was cool. The first half of the semester, or the first semester, wasn't all that awful. It was pretty chill, I guess. Nothing much I could think about, except for one thing I hate. There's a lot of hate and embarrassing moments in this. One thing I hated was like in the final for like a culinary thing. We were doing a dessert, and I um we were I was like, oh, maybe we should do this or that, like in my own head. I wasn't talking to my like classmates about, or not classmates but group about it, which I should have. I was like, dude, that's a horrible idea. Can we do this instead? Instead, she went with, I think I was absent either way, so she was like, you know what? She went with a green peppermint pie. Not a real pie, by the way. That shit was not anything close to a pie. It was a fake pie, and it looked like ass, tastes like ass. Actually, I don't even think I tasted it because I hated it. I hate the fuck out of that. Didn't get a good grade. I don't think we got a bad grade, but we didn't get a good grade. Didn't like it. Tried to design it. Not a good designer. Meh. It was just horrible. Didn't care about it at all. All right, second semester of junior year. That was my winter final, by the way. Anyways, second semester junior year. The first thing I want to start off with was, I don't think there was anything February, March. Nothing embarrassing throughout those moments or anything traumatic. Now we're going into trauma. This is great. This is like a 20-minute thing. No, we'll sum it up. Okay. End of April. No, no, like during April. One time, you know how I was conscious about my sweaty ass? That tenfolded during April and May. Worst 2 months of my life. In April, I think in the middle of April, I was in the restroom. This was during school lunch. I went during the middle of it. I sat down on toilets to go pee, mainly because I just felt like it. I don't know. I like sitting on the toilet and just going on my phone most of the time. Just sit there for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And so I did that. And then I pulled my pants up. I put the toilet paper or flush it, whatever. Went back out. I don't know how anybody else didn't see this, especially like a teacher and advisor. Had toilet paper out of my fucking pants. So I was just fucked. Dude. I walked and I was sat all the way in the back, like furthest point from the restroom. So I had to walk past so many students until I sat down, and there was like two girls right next to me that came up to me and were like, "You have toilet paper on your like back or on your butt, dude." And I pulled that out, and I was like, dude, this shit sucked. I was super embarrassed. I went on my phone. I was like, dude, I want to die so bad. That was funny. After that, things got worse. I wore like all white one time. Had white pants, white shirt, and I was like, and then we had a prep rally, but I really needed to use the restroom. I needed to take a shit. Took a bad shit. Wiped myself. The toilet paper at the school sucks. So I wiped myself, and I'm pretty sure, like, I like scratched myself near my butt or near. Okay, I don't want to say it, near my anus. And so the paper had blood on it. It was like, did I just poop out blood? But no, that's not how that works. If you poop out blood, it would be a dark red, and your poop would be, darker and redder It was bright red, so it was a surface. It was a surface cut, not cut, but like scratch. It was nothing to worry about. Me though, I was worried about it because that barely happened. Wearing all white, by the way. So I was so conscious about it, dude. I fuck that bullshit. All of that could go and rot. That sucked. You know how fucking like awful that is? Wearing all white, you scratch your anus and you're like bleeding, or not bleeding badly. It's not a bad bleed. It was like spotty. So it was like a small little cut. You're like, okay, this could stain. People can look at my ass. Like, I already had a sweaty ass. So I was worried about that. And the fact, so if my ass was sweaty, I thought that was blood, or that was like, anything else, or just wetness. So me, and it was a prep rally. I had to go back to stand up, like 100 people there. That was awful. Anxiety to the roof, to the roof. Then my sister got me, like, on the weekend before or after that. My sister got me like canes from whichever fucking restaurant or whichever fucking one was near us. That got me food poisoning, I'm pretty sure, because I got a fever. I had to take a shit I had to shit water most of the time. I felt awful. That increased my anxiety about, I already had anxiety about my sweaty ass. I already had anxiety about the scratch that was there because, I wiped since I had a sweaty ass, I would wipe my butt. Since the toilet paper was scratchy and rough, I would scratch my butt constantly to make sure everything was gone, any poop was gone, all that. And then I saw blood, and blood's a no-go when it comes to poop, or to when you're through that place. You're like, okay, that looks like horrible. Don't tell anyone. Didn't tell anyone, by the way. Didn't tell anyone about this, not even my parents. So, and then I got food poisoning. So I had to shit constantly. Went back home after that. Only stayed for like 2 days. Went back. Was not cured, but I was, I wasn't sick anymore. I didn't feel sick. Nothing bad was happening. When I was at home, I felt fine. But my anxiety my anxiety being linked to school and poop, or not poop, yeah, using the restroom was awful. On the bus, I sweat my butt. I was like, oh my gosh, am I like, is that noticeable or anything in this? Like, it just sucks. You have a sweaty ass in the school bus that early in the morning, since it was it was summer, or it was like spring, so it's hot as shit. We're in Texas, and I was sweating my ass off. That was awful. Felt like I needed to use the restroom because of that. So and then you're gonna bus. If you feel like if you need to use a restroom instead of a bus, well, you can't do shit, especially since it was the morning and it took like 30 minutes to go back or 40 minutes to go to school. So that was awful. I would immediately go to the restroom to go check myself for anything every single day. And then I felt like I needed to poop constantly. So I would, like, in the morning, I was like, I timed it myself, and then they made it where, like, junior year, sophomore year, whatever, where you only had 2 passes every single day to go to the restroom. You couldn't go constantly through the class. So I was just fucked. I only was able to go to the restroom 2 times per day. And I was already, anxiety ridden. So this made me want to check constantly to reassure myself. But since I was unable to, I sat in the morning class, the first period, sat there, and since it was a like laid back class, I didn't do jack shit in that class. It was one class, first period, and then the next day it would be 6th period, which was just first period, but different block. It was 2 blocks. One was food science, the other one was math. Food science, easy, get all the work. So all I did was just sleep. I had to constantly like be sleeping in order to get rid of my anxiety because that was the only way I could like stop thinking about it. You know, fucking um, go in dreamland. So that sucked. That honestly just sucked. And then as soon as I wake up, it's you sit with your fucking hands or your head on your hands for like the 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Your body starts hurting. So it sucked. I was like, okay, this sucks. I still feel like I need to go shit. It's an hour and 30 class. 30 minutes in, I feel like I was like, can I go to the restroom? Boom, put one pass. One pass left for the remaining of the school. And after that, well, this was during May, so I only had 3 weeks left. Throughout those 3 weeks, I only went for like a total of like 10 days, probably out of like 21, probably even less. Still did finals. Did finals well. Didn't skip any of the finals. Finals were good. Um. Okay, so and that was just constant. I just like felt like I constantly needed to go poop. That felt awful. So I like called my mom. I was like, I don't feel good. They thought I was getting bullied because I constantly went back home, and I was like, I don't feel good. I want to go back home. I feel sick. No, I don't feel sick, but I feel like I'm gonna shit myself. All right, I told them that either. I was like, oh no, I just feel like I just feel my stomach hurts. That's all I said. I was like, my stomach hurts. Don't feel like it. Don't feel like being at school. And it was linked to school as well because as soon as I went home, as soon as I went in a car, felt fine. Felt absolutely perfect. Nothing felt better. So, and then after that, this constantly happened throughout the weeks. Um well, let's see. I don't think anything that was practically the basis of it. I felt fine, like sometimes, and then other days I like constantly had to like just like stay home. And good thing like I didn't get sacked for it or like anybody told me about it. No APs, no counselors, no like nobody told me off. No one was like, "Okay, you're missing too many days." And it was like the end of the like school year. I skipped an AP test because I was like, my stomach hurts. I don't want to, because I was gonna sit all day at one single library just to take one test, and I had the feeling of like I was gonna go poop myself, even after I went to the restroom. Because even after I went to the restroom, reassured myself that I don't need to go poop. Sometimes I even force myself to go poop. Even that didn't help. I still feel like I needed to go poop. Awful. Absolutely awful. I was like, fuck that. I'm going to stay home. Because you only get like one bathroom excuse for a test. No one's going to be like, why are you going to the bathroom? Everyone's going to be like, why are you going to the bathroom so much? No. Go back. Go sit. So I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not going to go. So I didn't go. And I stayed home. Let's see. I don't think I could think of anything else junior year. Let's see. Oh no, that's like that was like about it. The poop chronicles. I'm trying to think of anything else, but like that was it. But that was like really really bad for me. And then after that, end of school year, summer, fucking actually like 10 times better. Felt like it. I felt like 10 times better. Um, and then near June or near the end of June, near July, same thing happened since you have to go back to school for like not orientation for like pre like just doing stuff beforehand. Especially since it was senior year, I had to do a lot of different stuff. Get your ID as well. That was an obvious thing. And so I did all that. Had felt like I needed to go poop there, anxiety filled at that place. So then I was like, dude, this ain't gonna work out. I like cried myself, like thinking I'm not gonna be able to go to school because of this. This was like, okay, this is really sad stuff. I'm talking about I was gonna only talk about embarrassing stuff, but this is like something I need to like tell. Not really. I don't really need to tell, but like this is embarrassing. Sure, something to talk about. Be like, dude, that was stupid as shit. And because my anxiety is like at 0 at this point for most things. Most things. I'm not the type of person who can just put their shirt, like throw their shirt out and go to the beach because I'm fat. That's fat anxiety. That's, no one wants to see my jelly rolls. I wanted to research how to get my GD, all that shit. Didn't do it. Went back to school August. Everything was peachy. Not really. Felt like the same thing. A little milder, but still felt the same. Never had a car, even though it was my senior year. Mainly because I didn't have a license. Even though it was my senior year. So I was, went back on the bus boy. Same thing, stuff happened, just felt like it. And then that was mainly the thing until like September, which Nathan's gonna really hate me about this, but I did something really, really stupid. This wasn't even like the intent to steal, just to like take something. I had to repay for this as well. I've repaid like $100 something. Lesson learned, by the way, never stealing like expensive stuff again, or don't get caught. Anyways, I like there was AirPods on the like in the library, AirPods on a chair. After like a girl left, I went to go grab them, put them in my pocket, gave them to my friend Nathan. No last name. He grabbed them. I don't know where he put them. No, don't know where he put them to this day. Because if I tell him, he'll get so mad at me. He would actually like just hate me. Because I could have gotten him in some like deep trouble, and that could have like been bad. Lesson learned. Never doing that shit again. By the way. My thought process was, oh, I can hide these and put these in like a trash can or something, and she'll never find out. Literally, all my intent was malicious. None of it was for like stealing just to or resell it, or for someone to buy it, or just to take it for myself. It was all malicious intent, just to go hide it somewhere so they would never, or they won't be able to find it. I like that was like a dirtbag thing to do. Well, obviously I got caught. And so I got in trouble, had to repay, do all that shit. Never did that shit again. Didn't tell Nathan. I'm not gonna tell Nathan ever unless he watches this video, which this video is already 1:06. So that's on him to watch this whole entire video and try to find this point. And if you, Kane, or Evans isn't gonna watch this. Kane will. If you tell Nathan about this, I will never talk to you again. This is something Nathan has to find out on his own. This is definitely something Nathan has to find out on his own. Can't ever know about this. We're done being friends if Nathan knows about this from anyone besides me or himself. After that, still had the poop anxiety. Didn't matter about nothing added it to it like that. process didn't add anything to it. But it was like really, really mild. It was still prominent. Like it was still here and there. But, it was, disappearing. It was like, everything's fine. I was so alone in senior year. I had barely any friends in senior year until I started talking during the last semester, or like the last semester of my senior year. Anyways, I don't think anything else embarrassing happened in the first semester. I don't think so. I don't know. It's not like I can't think of anything. No, but the classes were 45 minutes, made it way much better. So back in junior year, there was a kid who sat next to me who made some weird noises with his mouth. For some reason, my brain picked up those noises, did it myself, felt self-conscious about doing those noises, even though I did them self-consciously or unconsciously, like just without thought, and I just did them. And I was like, dude, am I making those noises? Is anyone hearing those noises? I felt like, dude, a lot of anxiety junior year, honestly. Senior year, I mellowed out a lot. Senior year, okay, now we're in next semester, I guess. Since our first semester, senior year didn't really, nothing all that much. Second year semester, I talked with people a lot, made semi-friends with people. The kid who told me to go do, like, play on the last football game of, like, all the way back in 7th grade. He was in the same class in my senior year of culinary class. The curricular class. I still resented him for it, still hated him. Because, I literally like hate people a lot, and I was like, yeah, I don't like that guy. He's not someone I can talk to. I never talked to him for most part. Never knew him for the most part. Only remember him for that part. End of that. Sat alone at lunch by myself most days. Like all the time. Most days now. Sometimes I sat with Nathan. Still friends with Nathan. There's one time where someone got pepper sprayed. Like, okay, so in culinary class, you had to go like every 3 months or something. We had to go help the lunch ladies out. Someone got pepper sprayed during that one period where I had to go help. My eyes started watering, started like almost sneezing. It felt awful. I went to Beaumont to go do stuff, or for culinary. It was like a SL. No, it was like, I don't know. It was like competition something. Okay, yeah. For the competition, my teacher said that for the last year they didn't allow electricity, so everyone had to mix by hand. Guess what they didn't do? They didn't mix by hand. They all had electric mixers, while I didn't bring one because I was like, it would be too heavy because electric mixers weigh a ton. So I didn't have one. I didn't have any of that. I mixed everything by hand. Fuck me. Hated that. I was like, okay, this is awful. Everyone, literally everyone. So I was the one person having to mix by hand, and I felt awful about it. So that was fun, I guess. Um, the I overslept, because it was like the first day, and I was tired because we had to go there by like 4 in the morning to get on a bus, and my competition was the first thing there, so I had to do everything from like 4 in the morning all the way to competition, and it was like two already, 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, whatever. And I didn't get any sleep in the bus because that's a bus. How the fuck am I supposed to get sleep on the bus? So I was just fucked. So I missed I slept on a bed, and I missed going to Target. So that was fun, I guess. Mm, oh, yeah. I don't know if this was no, I don't think this was senior year. I think this was junior year. No, this was senior year, where my poop anxiety turned into pee anxiety. So I had to I felt like I constantly needed to go pee, even though I didn't. So that was fun, I guess. It was even worse because there's like something you feel external, from your penis. So that was that was that was fun. That was really fun having to go through that, having to use the 2 bathroom passes to go check that out every going throughout the period, or throughout the 5 minute period thing from class to class, to go do that. Fun, not at all. Hated it. Um, I think this was like February or something. Got rid of that. That's gone as well. Let's see. Talked about the Beaumont stuff. Hate Beaumont because of whatever happened there. No, what happened? The P thing happened in March. Beaumont was in February. Let's see. Okay, second semester. That was February and March, and April, May. April, May, not that much stuff happened. Nothing really happened. Made talk to people a lot. That was cool, I guess. Uh, Not that many embarrassing stuff happened near there. Oh, I had a picture taken for culinary. It was like a thing. It was for like vote who you think did this stuff the most, and mine was like cleaning or some shit. Dude, I saw my picture. I saw the hair I had on, or I saw my hair. I hate that picture now. I saw that. I hate it. I took graduation photos. I saw my hair. I hate it. I was like, why did they let me have long hair? Who told me? They should have told me at least cut it. Cut it shorter. Make it a layered wolf cut. Not even a wolf cut. Just make it a layered textured cut. Would have been way better. Guess what I had? Shitty ass hair. I had bad hair the whole entire time. Awful. Mm, so I got my hair cut in or for graduation. Graduation photos had my hair. Graduation didn't have my hair, or my hair was cut shorter, or was shorter than my long hair that went down to like my shoulder blades or below it, whatever. That was all coolio. People talked about it, or my friends talked about it. They're like, "Oh, cool. I guess you had short hair now." I was like, "Yeah." Felt way better about it. That was cool. Graduation went off. That was fine, all dandy. Still didn't have a license. Had to do my license till till December. That was when I truly got my license. No, it was like October where I actually got my license. That was all in good fun. Oh, during senior year, I had, I want to say paranoia, probably anxiety about like anxiety turning into paranoia. I thought people could read my mind because I thought about dirty stuff sometimes. And I was like, okay, this stuff is at like not out of hand, but like it's pretty dirty. It was just degeneracy, and people looked at me. I was like, are they looking at me, making fun of me in their mind? There was one time where like someone I knew from a different class in culinary. It was like during buses. I was like one of the only seniors who had to go on a bus. By the way, sucked. Um, they looked at me. I looked back. I was like, who? I was like, are they looking at me? And then they went to talk to their friend, and then their friend looked at me, and I don't know if that was they're truly looking at me and talking about me. Felt like it. Maybe it was behind me. Who knows? Um, went back on my phone. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna ignore that. Don't want to think about it at all. Hate. You know the word hate? Hate. I hated high school. I hated middle school. I hate elementary. Now I'm in college. Don't hate it as much. I'm gonna be peachy. After that, gonna be in a job. Even peachier. Because guess what? I'm gonna be better and finer than ever. No more anxiety for me. Only money issues anxiety. That's the one I want. Don't want social anxiety. That out the window. Um, let's see. No, I feel like that's it. I feel like that's it. Yeah, that's like from like what elementary to high school. A lot of embarrassing stuff. I still have to find that video, but also I have to find the video. I have to. I don't think there's any more stuff to think about, or any more like embarrassing situations, traumatic things, or some stuff I have to take to the grave. Wait, what else? What else? What else? What else? Uh, nah, I feel like that's it. I feel like I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm good. All right, that's enough.